Hello, everybody. It's me, Tracy. And as you can see from the title, this is the makeup show from yesterday. I did not like how it turned out. I was incredibly tired. Um, so I decided to do a whole nother podcast and talk to you all for like the next hour, maybe hour 30 minutes. So before I get started, remember to share this video on all your platforms, email the link to your friends. You can always comment in the comment section, or if you happen to watch this after the broadcast, you can always put your comments there. We're going to pay some bills and we're going to get to this is in a jiffy. So, let's see. Subscribe to this channel. I'm at 138. That's probably the highest number of subscribers I've had all year. And I would like 1,000 is my goal, but if I could at least get 300 by year's end, that would make me very happy and know that something I say or saying is resonating with the people. So hit that subscribe button. It literally costs you nothing. Um, so on November the 4th, I am going to be having a fundraiser slash drive, and it's going to be for my virtual scavenger hunt. The cost is somewhere between $15 and $35. You can buy a $15 ticket, or if you really want to support me, you can purchase a $35 ticket. There is the link right there. Please purchase your ticket. I need all the support I can get. I'm desperately in need of some new equipment, which I can't afford. So if I could get maybe 10 people, that's $150 that I don't have to come up with. Um, I definitely want to improve this podcast, and so you can help me do that. And we'll have some fun on November the 4th. Um, You can also support me on buymeacoffee.com/ TRACYMedia LLC at Gmail. Oh, sorry, I'm going to give you my website. You can support me at buymeacoffee.com / TRACYMedia LLC. You can follow me on Rumble. I'm still waiting for those other 4 followers so I can take at least one of my shows over there instead of on YouTube. So just please follow me on Rumble. My Substack, whenever I write an article, which will be someday. I might want to figure out how to use TikTok, but I do have a TikTok account, so you want to follow me there. Definitely follow me on Twitter because I post all of my shows there. And you can always like us on Facebook. So yesterday I was talking about how last week was just a week. It was everything from McCarthy being voted out as Speaker of the House. You had Bernie Sanders' office arresting having supporters, having peace activist supporters arrested. You had Cornel West leaving the Green Party. Still a possibility that that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I got his name right. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is going to be running as an independent. And I'm going to get to the border wall and the hypocrisy that none of the vote blue, no matter who people are talking about, which is kind of what I expected of them. Um, it's been a week. I mean, and I know I'm going to be repeating some of the things I said yesterday, but like I said, I'm definitely not sleepy, so we're going to um, just bear with me here, but I will be reading some things I said yesterday. So first, got to talk about Dr. West leaving the Green Party to run as an independent. At first, I was feeling like, okay, I'm out here, I'm gathering signatures. to put your name on the ballot as a Green. How could you leave us like this? Now we got to start all over if you're in the Green Party to get another candidate to run. Then I kept wondering, well, what happens to the signatures we've already gathered? Will those follow him or will they stay within the Green Party? What will that mean for us that have been, getting support at the local Greens because Dr. West was running? But then there's another part of me. Another part of me thought he probably should have did this from the beginning. And I see I have some people out there, so if you want to comment, please do. But I think he probably should have did this from the beginning, and not because I don't. I'm not saying this because I don't support the Green Party, but I watched an interview with that he did on Tim Black's podcast, and he was talking about why it is he left the Green Party, and a lot of things he said made sense. The Green Party is an environmentally focused party, i.e., their name Green Party. If you read their platform, there's things about the working class, but there's not a whole lot. If you go to Dr. West's website now, Cornell West 24, CornellWest24.com, and read the platform, CornellWest24.com, and I'm talking about Dr. West, you'll see something that I noticed right off the bat. The platform, or what he's calling his pillars, they're more Black focused. And I know a lot of people out there voting for Dr. West or support Dr. West may not be Black, but as a Black American, I'm like, it's about time that somebody somewhere came out with a platform that is focused on Black people. The Democrats certainly don't have the guts to do it. I especially appreciate his pillar of eliminating homelessness. Our homeless rate has increased every single year for the past 6 years, and neither administration has did anything about it, hasn't said anything about it. Most of those are veterans. And it's like, oh, somebody finally said eradicate homelessness. Another thing that I liked about the pillars is he has something in there, and I don't have it in front of me, but he stated something about being able to get a home loan without a credit score. And that is vital. That is huge. I know the Democrats are never going to ever approve of that because they're getting funded by the banks. That to not have a credit score and to get a loan for a home is a big, huge thing. Now, will it pass this Congress? Probably not. But I'm still glad he put it in his platform. He has things about reparations, environmental racism, and you don't hear about environmental racism even in the Green Party. You don't hear about environmental racism. It's something that's never talked about. It's something that you rarely hear about. And so I was glad. I'm like, okay, I can get behind this. I can get behind this. I can support this. I can be for this. I can say, yes, this is a good thing. He definitely called for the elimination of NATO. Um, his Ukraine policy is probably the only one I'm not questioning. Um, his call for peace because who wants war? But again, the Ukraine Russia um, incident, or whatever you want to call it, it's so complex because if you just cut off aid to Ukraine, um, then Russia just takes over. But if you give more weapons, it's never going to stop. So I appreciate his call for peace. I hope it continues even with Hamas bombing Israel. That whole situation is just entirely entirely messed up. And those out there, you can comment because I feel like you're out there, but I know my audience isn't scared to comment. So if you want to put a comment in there in the comment section, go ahead and do that, and I'll respond. But I was just really glad to see that those pillars are again black focused. Now it doesn't mean it benefits only black people, but to put things in there about reparations, environmental racism, things about not having to have a credit score to get a home loan, those are incredible to me. And I literally don't see any other campaign calling for those things. And, if he stays with this platform, it's going to be hard for me to say, let me support this independent, because I'm not voting for a Democrat or Republican. It's just not going to happen. Even though people say I'm taking away a vote from Biden, like it belongs to him, but it doesn't. Like I said, I understand the disappointment that a lot of Greens have, but I could see why he did it. Um, and you know, I, as a member of the Green Party, have my own criticisms, which I won't share on here because basically the whole world doesn't need to know those. But some of the things that Dr. West said were absolutely correct. Absolutely. Um, I'm looking for a conservative for vote for. Yeah, good luck with that. You could go libertarian, I guess, or Biden. Biden is a good conservative to vote for. Good conservative. Um, what was I gonna talk about next? Like I said, this one is not gonna be long because this is just basically the makeup show from yesterday. And if you watched the makeup show or you watched yesterday's show, you could tell I was out. I was like, okay, I don't know what happened. I think I ate too much for breakfast, and it was just like, okay, go to sleep, boom. Because as soon as I ended the podcast, I took like at least a 4 hour nap. I was out, so I'm really good now. So um, you won't see me cutting this off at all. Um, I want to jump back on a subject that I talked about yesterday. Why I'm pleased that Robert F. Kennedy is going to run as an independent. So October the 9th, which that's tomorrow. So I think, wait a minute, let me look at something. Because RFK has an announcement, and I think it's the 9th. Let me double check. I'm checking, so just I ask for your patience here. I'm almost certain. RFK Jr. announcement. Blah, blah, blah. I think tomorrow um, is going to be the day that Robert F. Kennedy announces he's leaving the Democratic Party and continuing his run for president as an independent. This is another smart move. This is a smart move for several reasons. One, why did you run in the Democratic Party anyway? They literally told you there's going to be no primaries. We've picked who our nominee is. You don't have a chance. You should have did this from the beginning. Another person that should have ran as an independent from the beginning. Um, you literally had no chance. The Democrats told us no debates, no primaries. We know who our nominee is. Our nominee is a man that has what 15 to 20% approval rating. Um, so that's one reason that I'm so happy about it. And the second reason, it gives us more choices. Literally, this is what the American, like people who think they know about politics, they'll tell you, oh, the choice is between Trump and Biden. Problem with that is 70% of Americans don't want Biden. 68% of Americans don't want Trump. So we want more choices. If I'm counting right, that's going to bring up the presidential count to, I mean, there's literally 100 people running for president, but this would be in terms of the top 5 or 6. That's incredible to have 5 to 6 choices going in the booth. I don't have to sit here and wonder, well, gee, let me vote for Biden because he's not Trump. I'm so scared of him. Trump bad. And trust me, I'm not saying that Trump isn't dangerous, but I'm saying the exact same thing about Trump as I'm saying about Biden. They're both dangerous. Biden with his tendency of funding every war he's ever heard of, and Trump with his I want to be king forever. And it's easier to stop Trump because you have the courts to say, hey, when your term is over, we can get Secret Service to escort you out. We don't have to do that. I mean, there's mechanisms in place to keep Trump from going too far. There's no mechanism to stop Biden from funding the Ukraine war. Every time I see Zelensky, he's got his hands out asking for more money and more money and more money. And again, I've told you all how I feel about the Ukraine war. I'm not definitely saying don't give them any money, but at least call for a ceasefire from both sides. I haven't heard anything about a ceasefire. Now we're using cluster bombs. There's talk that soldiers may be hitting the ground. It's escalating, and we need something different. We need to stop using. I've read a survey that said that 57 cents of every dollar goes towards the military. That means that everything else shares the 43 cents or 43 cents. We can't sustain that. We can't sustain that. And only the military industrial complex is benefiting from this. So I'm glad that RFK is running. It gives us more choices, and people are going to have to do. Oh, I hate to say this. People are going to have to research. I know it's a hard thing. It takes a bit, that you're going to have to read their platforms, see what they believe, and then vote from there. See what they want to do in 2024 instead of saying, I'm not Trump, I'm not Biden. We deserve even more choices than what we're getting, and we deserve better government than what we're getting. Um, and like I said, I'm glad he's doing it. I think it's just like I said, would I ever vote for RFK Jr.? No, because he's wrong on Israel. He's wrong on Medicare for all. Um, he's wrong on his opinions on the vaccine. He's wrong on reparations. He's wrong on too many of the things that I care about. But he should be on the ballot. I have no problem with him being on the ballot. Won't vote for him. Don't think I will. But yeah, he's just too. He's just wrong. He's just too wrong on too many issues that I care about for me to say, you know what? Um, let's go. And I wish Mary Ann Williamson would do the same thing, but I think I think she'll drop out and then endorse Biden. That's where I really think she's gonna be doing. I don't see her running as independent. She keeps losing campaign managers. Apparently there's word that she's difficult to work with. Um, so it wouldn't surprise me if she shuts down her campaign. Um, and throws her support around Dr. West. That's what I think is going to happen. But I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. I can't predict the future. But I can tell you that is I'm glad that RFK is leaving a party that does not, that literally is telling people, yeah, we're fixing the primaries. This is our nominee. Like nobody else has a right to challenge him. Nobody else has any like you can't say anything negative. And let me say, yeah, a lot of Americans don't know she has a campaign. That's why I think she's gonna drop out. Because very few people know she has a campaign. So I'm thinking, yeah, she's probably gonna drop out. I say sometime in January because it's just not looking good for her. Um, it's just yeah, she nobody knew she had a campaign. I don't even know if she knows she has a campaign, and I know the media is shutting her out. And that's because she's challenging the anointed one. I mean, Joe Biden is the one that's been crowned with the title. Um, I don't even think Obama has to make a phone call this time. I think she gets out um, because she isn't raising a lot of money, and I don't see it happening. Like I said, I think she gets out probably in January and maybe February, but she gets out and she'll probably either in she it's 50-50. She could endorse Joe Biden or she could endorse Dr. West. It just depends on how she's going. What I hope doesn't happen. Oh, please, Dr. West, don't pick her as your can. Don't do. Hey, Mac, how are you? I'm glad you could join me on this makeup show. Um, I like I said, this race. If I can say nothing else about the 24 presidential race, it's gonna be a ride. Things you're going to see things that happen in this election you've never seen before. You could literally have Trump and Biden at 30%, and then other candidates splitting the rest. And I don't know what happens if they split. Yes, we are. We probably are the only ones that are. Uh, but you're going to see things that happen that never have happened before. Um, I think this is the best time for an independent run because, like I said, 70% of Americans don't want Joe Biden to run. Heck, 80% of Democrats don't want him to run, but I'm supposed to vote for him because he's not Trump. Nothing about his campaign, nothing about his platform, nothing about what he's going to do in 2024 that he did in that he didn't do in his first term. Just he's not Trump. Okay, I'm not Trump. Vote for me. That's my whole platform. Homelessness is increasing at a skyrocket rate. Biden response, I'm not Trump. Americans don't have health care that they need. I'm not Trump. Children are at the point of starvation. I'm not Trump. Um, literally, y'all can miss me with that. Or you can answer this question. Yeah, you can miss me with that. But you can also answer me the question for all you vote blue, no matter who's. What do you think that Biden is going to do? No, where can I find his platform? You tell me where I can find Biden's platform. You tell me where I can find his platform. Because I don't know. I don't know what he's planning on doing. He hasn't campaigned. I mean, say what you want about Trump. The fact that he's got 91 federal indictment, 9 indictments or charges, and he's still in this, and he's still beating Biden by 10 points in a most recent poll. Dude, just get out the race. I'm serious. Just get out the race. But I want to move on to my next subject, and I know I'm gonna get some um, people that disagree with what I'm about to say. But I want you to hear me out. Please hear me out. So, if you've been living under a rock, Kevin McCarthy, this former Speaker of the House, was removed from his post. Every Democrat voted to remove him, and the Freedom Caucus made up. Uh, wait a minute. Now, Mac, hold on, Mac. Not Kamala. Anybody, the worst vice president. No, maybe I know what her name is. Chigani Brown Jackson, I think is her name. I'll give you that, but not Kamala. No, not Kamala. But I want to know what's he gonna do in his second term that he has not did in his first term. Um, but I'm not gonna be feared to somebody that says, um, well, I'm not gonna get into that. But um, I do. Um, oh, I was talking about Kevin McCarthy being removed. So every Democrat voted to remove him. And the Freedom Caucus, which is made up of, well, no, not Marjorie Taylor Greene. There was enough Republicans that voted with the Democrats to remove him as Speaker of the House. Now, here comes my portion, my thoughts about that. The Republican Party is in disarray. I don't know if it's a power struggle. I don't know if it's a personality issue. I don't know if I'm going to see fights break out on the floor, but this party is in disarray. I've seen party fights, but mostly overseas, where they come to blows, and I'm not sure if the Republicans won't walk down that aisle. I mean, you had Matt Gaetz, the leader of the I'm going to remove McCarthy um, movement, literally with a few Republicans and all the Democrats get a Speaker of the House removed. That hasn't happened. I'm not going to say ever, but I can't remember. Yeah, the people who are watching, if you can remember the last time a Speaker of the House was removed, let me know, because I don't even think Kevin McCarthy has served a year. Remember, it took 15 times to get him elected to be Speaker of the House. He puts in a provision, or he agrees to a provision that will let him be removed as the Speaker of the House. And now it's just a mess. And the whole thing started because Gaetz and a few of the Republicans wanted to do something that I think on the surface sounds like a good idea. Instead of voting for several 1,000 or 3,000 page document bills, vote on one bill at a time. And that makes more sense to me than reading a 10,000 page document, um, a 10,000 page document that you're not going to read through. And it depends on, what it is they're trying to sneak in. I think that's way better than what's going on now. It depends on who is running for the speakership for a year term right before a presidential. Yeah, I cannot think of. I can't think of any speaker that hasn't served a whole at least 2 years. At least 2 years. Um, and I'm really sitting here like trying to think, and I can't. And I think that am I a Matt Gaetz fan? No. There's no stretch of the means of the imagination where you're ever going to accuse me of being a Matt Gaetz fan. But for 15 seconds, I thought, you know what? It's about dang on time that people actually advocated for what they believe in. And I think that the other side, well, let me go back. I think that the progressives could learn a thing or two from the Freedom Caucus. They actually used force the vote to their advantage. And for you don't know what force the vote is, when about 2 to maybe I want to say 5 years ago, but back in the day, uh, people to the left were saying to the squad, you know, withhold your vote until Nancy Pelosi puts Medicare for all to the floor for a vote. And they did not do that. Instead, they voted for her without that support. And there was a whole big blow up about, now it's not, they did that whole now it's not the time type of thing. Um, and this shows that that can work. And so I know a lot of people say, oh, no, it doesn't work. Yes, it does. Look what happened to McCarthy. The Freedom Caucus had an agenda. They wanted to get a certain thing done. They didn't get it done, so they removed him. And I think, you know, I don't know if the Democrats possess that type of, I don't want to say machismo, but they don't possess that fight. They don't. It's just they capitulate all the time to what the party wants. And when you do that, and when you come to Congress and you say we're going to cause a ruckus, then you don't cause a ruckus. Then how do you expect people to keep sending you back? You're more concerned about what the party says as opposed to the constituents that send you. Um, and that's sad to me that um, the Democrats could not pull off a force to vote. Now, I don't know what, of course, they would have been deified in the media because the mainstream media is always up the DNC's rear. I mean, they just are. They bow their knee to the DNC. They're going to be on their side. They're going to call them Marxists, fascists. Um, they're going to call them, everything and every name of the book. But the Freedom Caucus didn't care. Um, um, and they got called names too, but they didn't change their votes. So maybe the Freedom Caucus has more in them than the squad. It's something to think about, right? Um, let's see, got a comment. I heard that Trump already endorsed Congressperson. Oh no, not Jim Jordan. Oh no, not Jim. Oh, anybody but Jim. Jim Jordan and the other congressperson, what's his name? That is the shooting survivor. What's his name? Wait a minute. Now you got me thinking. What's the? Hold on. I'm gonna get the name of this person. Okay, so Okay, I'm gonna get the name of this person because I know who you're talking about, and I can't think about who it is. I don't know who it is because all they're showing is Marjorie Taylor Greene um, confronting. It's got to be somebody white and somebody male. It's not going to be that black guy from Florida. I know that much. Um, I'm trying to think about. I'm trying to think of what his name is too, and I can't think of it. But Jim Jordan, he shouldn't even be in Congress. That guy allegedly had Ohio State players say, "Hey, there's sexual abuse going on by some of our staff," and he just ignored it. Um, how he gets elected, I don't even know. Um, but I, like I said, I think this is a good. Oh, Scalise. Yes. Okay, Scalise. Okay, now I know who you're talking about. Yeah, both male, both white. Like what if so? Like Trump's gonna come out and endorse somebody black. Like yeah, I want that black guy from Florida, him, because there's no other. There's no There's no woman. They're not gonna get a woman. They don't have that in them. Um I don't know how did they get uh all the Democrats to vote again. Well, McCarthy kind of brought, like I say, he brought this on himself, being silly enough to um just like negotiate away his leverage. So he should have expected this to happen. But again, I still think it doesn't go, it hasn't passed me that that in a lot of instances, this Freedom Caucus has more nerve in them than the squad. And I think that, is maybe time for those on the left um, to kind of look at that and think, why are we electing these people? I don't live in any of their districts, but you have to wonder how come these people in um, in the Freedom Caucus, they didn't care what the media said about them. They did what they wanted. They got their goals, their objective succeeded. They got rid of them, and so let me all know what you think. Again, I think this proves that force the vote actually does mean something. It can work. I was totally wrong about it. I thought, no, there's no way this could work. What if somebody goes back? But this proves it. This literally proves that force the vote can work. So, down to the last subject. And then I want to get onto one last subject. But I want to talk about the border wall. Now, when Trump was first running back in 2015, and once he got in office, he said, we're going to build a wall in the Mexican border to keep those who want to come in illegally from entering the United States. And people said, oh no, this is a waste of time, especially Joe Biden. He said it's a waste of time, it won't work. Well, um, wait a minute. Hold on. I got to read this one first before I get to the border wall. But the thing is, was the whole vote to vacate the speakership just a secret plan to get McCarthy available to run as Trump's vice president? If not Trump McCarthy, then who else could it possibly get it? Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's been Because remember McCarthy when January 6th happened, he was critical. He was highly critical of Trump. And Trump is petty. He holds grudges. He he remembers that. Taylor Green, she's been 100% behind um, Trump. I think he's going to pick a female. Now, I could be wrong. Shoot, I'm the one that thought he was going to win re-election because incumbents are hard to beat. But I don't think it's going to be McCarthy because he was critical of Trump. And even though he apologized and bootlegged, Trump's not going to, I don't think Trump is going to run or to have him run. And he could have stayed speaker, I believe, and ran as vice president. I don't think there's a rule against that per se, but it's a theory. I'll give you that. It's a theory. It's not one I ever thought about, but I think it's Marjorie Taylor Greene that's the one that ends up getting the VP nod. Um, oh, I was talking about the border wall. So we talked about the border wall, and it was a terrible idea. Uh, it wouldn't work. Why are you wasting our time? Well, a couple days ago, it was announced that the border wall construction is back in play. Now, Trump isn't president, so it can't be that. What type of idiotic excuse could Biden come up with? Well, he did. They're trying to contend that money left over from the Trump administration was dedicated to building the wall. Um, and that they had to build it because it was the law. Now, keep in mind, they're going to have to waive 26 laws to even build the wall. But this is yet an example of another campaign promise that Biden broke, and the vote blue, no matter who crowd, is going to defend it. They'll defend it with some type of excuse. Oh, he had to use the money, even though you can literally move around money and the government. I mean, that's what he did with COVID money. He removed it from, giving checks to people to police departments. Um, and I just don't know. I don't know why. I know why the media is so silent about this. It's because they're in bed with the DNC. This should, this should be this should be everywhere in terms of drawing attention to the fact we're building on Trump's wall. And is it going to really work? I mean, if you think about the border wall, they're going to find a way to get around it. Abbott put barbed wires on a canal or a river or something like that, and people still found a way to get around that. So I think if people want to come to this country, they're going to. The wall is not going to stop them. Why construct it? Why not get more judges for asylum seekers? That's my solution. I still say let them come over. I don't get um why they can't come over, but hey, that's just me. But it just amazes me how many campaign promises Biden has broken, and people will still vote for him. I'm like, what? At least if you're a Democrat, at least look at it and say, there is Marianne, but you can't do that because for some reason you're a Russian bot or you support Trump if you don't vote for Biden because because I don't know because but isn't Taylor Greene from a district that is a swing district and she would be a stretch because it's just her first term anyway? Actually, Both are incorrect. She's from a red district, and this is her second term in Congress. She beat, and I can't think of his name, but he was the black guy that wore the cowboy hat. She beat him for her second term, and she beat him like 71 to 79% to 21%. Um, um, yeah, Biden is building the border wall, but if the Democrats take the Congress, they can always pass a law to tear down the wall, and then Biden will go along with it. See, now you more hopeful than me. I don't think they. I think they pass it. I don't think they even bring up the law because Biden is a Democrat. I don't think they have the courage to do what's right. Now, of course, they could. I mean, and of course, you're assuming they take the House, which they may, but they'll lose the Senate. They're not going to have the House, the Senate, and the White House anymore because they screwed that up like royally. Um, it's it's a possibility what you're saying, but I don't see it happening. If he actually goes through with this plan, gets tears down the 26 laws to build it, they're not going to go against him. That's just not how the Democratic Party is set up. That's not how the Republican Party is set up. They're both the same. And this just proves it. He was for the border wall the entire time because if he wasn't, he would be moving that money from one program to another, and it's just going to get built. It's not going to work. People are going to find a way around the wall, and he won't be brought to the carpet on it because the media won't ever bring any type of attention to this. They'll just get to say what promises Trump broke, not um, counting the I almost want to say 100 that he made that he didn't keep. But this proves to me that both parties are the same. It really does. They're the same on the wall. They're the same on allowing homelessness to continue. They're allowed. They're the same in terms of allowing child hunger to continue, child poverty to continue, health care, housing. You name the issue, and I can't tell the difference. One is just like the other, and I think more voters, thank goodness, are kind of waking up to that and saying, you know what, no more. And I'm glad about it. And it starts from the point that I was making at the beginning about already running as an independent. Good. We need more choices. Am I going to vote for Kennedy? Nope, probably not. But I almost rather vote for him than over Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Ugh. And that's probably because they have an R and a D behind their names respectively. But what's the difference? If you look at um, things that Biden's accomplished, I literally have one. Well, now two. The appointment of Ketanji Brown Jackson or Ketanji Jackson Brown. I forget which one her name is. Um, and averting the railroad strike, even though he had passed a bill a year earlier saying that they couldn't strike, he did have the decency to go back and negotiate a workaround. So that I will give him credit for. But those two things are it. The economy is in shambles. Please stop talking about the unemployment. It's easy to have low unemployment numbers when you kick people off of unemployment. Um, it's easy to create new jobs when you're counting Uber jobs and gig jobs as jobs. Um, Most jobs created are in the hospitality, retail type of sectors, which we know are low wage paying jobs. Um, and I don't think this should count. It's not like Biden said, okay, what we need is a restaurant worker and we need a manager and we need a host. No, he's not creating those jobs. And Trump didn't create those jobs. No president should get credit for job creation or job decrease. They're not decreasing employment and they're not increasing unemployment. But when you kick people off of and when you kick people off of Medicaid for just literally no reason, that's not going to make me vote. You see, I kick people off Medicaid, but I'm not Trump. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. So again, before I get off of here, because I said I was going to stay an hour, um, I want to know from everybody that supports Biden, tell me what he's going to do in his second term if he wins, which he won't. But if he gets a second term, what is he going to do in his second term that he did not do in his first? That's literally all I'm asking. And him being not Trump does not count. That doesn't count. That's not a policy. That's not a platform. That's just something he's not. I'm not Trump. Vote for me. That's what his campaign slogan should be: vote for me, I'm not Trump. Because that's all I keep hearing from people that support him. They can't tell me his policy. They can't tell me what he's going to do. But they can just tell me he's not Trump. And is Trump great? No. Is Trump fascist? Yes. Is Biden fascist? Yes. There's no difference between the two. They both take corporate money. They both have high rates of homelessness, unemployment, child poverty, except there's no difference. So, again, the challenge is tell me what they're going to do, what Biden is going to do in his second term that he did not do in his first. Um, and I'm going to read some comments here. I think when it comes to vice presidential debate, I would say that Kamala Harris would be better than MGT. Yep, I can agree with that. But I don't know what state McCarthy's from, California. Trump could also not pick anyone, just let the Senate pick a vice president. Yeah, but that would mean the Senate would have to be the one. Wouldn't that mean the Senate would have to be, the Republican Senate would have to be in charge? He's going, if he's smart, which he may not be, but he's probably going to pick a woman. I hope not. I hope not. This would, if he does that, that's no. Um, that would just be World War III if he invades Iran. Venezuela, like, what did they do to us? Oh, they elected some they had a democratically elected person that the U.S. didn't like, so they had to stop. But again, the challenge is still, and my challenge for the week, when I come back next week, I'm still going to be looking on this board to see, did anybody tell me, or can anybody tell me, what Biden is going to do in his second term that he did not do in his first term. Now, he could declare a war, but I don't see how that benefits anybody but the military industrial complex. But I'm interested to hear. I'm interested to hear what things that people can make up, because so far nothing. So everybody, thank you for coming back. Yesterday was not a good show for me. It wasn't a good showing. I want to erase yesterday's show, but I can't get it off the internet, so I gotta just take a L for the team, and that's okay. But I do want to remind you to register for the virtual scavenger hunt. Um, it's coming up November the 4th. Um, and that money will go towards my channel. I desperately need some new lights. I want to get a banner, but that's like $500. And again, I definitely need new lighting that's going to cost anywhere between 350 to 375. So anything that you can donate to the virtual scavenger hunt and be a part of it, I would appreciate it. You can also go to TRACYMedia LLC.com and see the link there. You can, if you're on my mailing list, you'll start getting emails tomorrow about the scavenger hunt. Um, just participate in it because, like I said, I need some money for some equipment that I can't afford. So this will be the last comment. Well, if Trump does let the Senate pick his vice president, then he could possibly switch the vote to the one guy. What's his name from? You're talking about Joe Manchin. That could. That is a strong possibility. I never thought about that because Joe Manchin, is he really a Democrat? I don't. Um, that's a good point. I never thought about that. Um, but I think I'm not sure if Manchin won't run under the No Labels Party just to kind of stick it to Biden. So I'll wow, that's I never thought about that. Or here's one I never thought about. I never thought about um, RFK Jr. as Trump's running mate. I never thought about that. He polls high with Republicans. He's more conservative than liberal. And I could be totally wrong. My gut tells me that Trump is going to pick a woman. That's just what I believe. Um, because he needs to secure the female Republicans, and that would be a way to do it. But that would be a way to do it. But um, again, I'm trying to go back. So again, this is the last goodbye. Again, go to the link. That's bit.ly /45A, capital Y, lowercase cc8 to register for the scavenger hunt. Is either $15 general admission, or if you're just in a great mood, you can always donate $35 because I need the money for better lights and I can't afford them. I want this show to get better. I want this show subscription based to grow. So please remember to like this video. Like it, share it, comment in the comment sections. I got a comment on my video yesterday, did my heart well. I actually responded. So if you see this later, you can always respond. Um, Again, like this video, share this video, comment, and most of all, subscribe. Subscribe, subscribe. I will see you all on Thursday. That's right. That's a special announcement. So the Tracy Show will be on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I had choir rehearsal that ends around 7:10, 7:20. So I need to come home and prepare to set up so I can tape that. That will be at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time instead of 7. I'm going to be interviewing Chase Oliver, the Libertarian candidate for president. I'm kind of curious as to what his thoughts are because I think RFK may go to the Libertarian Party. I could be totally wrong about that. But be sure to watch this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not 7. Um, and the Saturday show will not be live. Um, it will be a pre-tape show totally silly topic because I've kind of gone serious. Um, mm-mm. Um, I want to thank everybody. We got up till I saw 8, and I want to keep growing. So just remember this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be interviewing Chase Oliver, Libertarian candidate for President of the United States. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, apologies for yesterday's show. It wasn't my best. I'm going to try not to eat so much in the morning so I can actually be aware of what I'm doing. I will see you all later. Have a great day.